All right, this session is on recording now. And so, Mohsin, can you switch on your camera, Summer? And who is this guy with some number SF0QT1? Just rename yourself Maheen. It's Maheen. Okay. So, who is this SF0QT1? Can you rename yourself because I will not mark your attendance, whoever this is. Okay. Beta, can you rename yourself with the name SF0QT1?
Sir, my name is Aliza Shahid.
Aliza Shahid. Okay, I will rename you. Okay, Ji. Okay, Ji, we'll start. You all are producing either a documentary project or a short film in this semester final year project. So today I'll briefly talk about documentaries and short films, that what are the necessary steps you need to take. So the important point here is first to decide what you want to do. Obviously, you all have decided what you are going to do, but let me add everyone. I guess Maheen and Osama. Okay, I guess everyone is in. So I have muted all of you. So if you want to ask any question, just raise your hand. All right. So, so you probably have decided what you want to produce here. So I will briefly talk about the process, how you are going to produce, because probably some of you are doing it first time, you have done it already in groups. So there is a due process that how you produce your film. It's a meticulous job. Obviously, you know, whether you are making a short film or you are making a documentary. Um, so in order to make a documentary, let me play this PowerPoint first. So first you need to understand, I don't know why they are not coming on time. Khadija and Osama. Okay, so you need to understand what documentary is and what short film is. Basically, there are six mode of documentary. There's different six types of documentaries. Now you have to decide that what type of documentary you want to make. So there is poetic expository documentaries, observational documentaries, then there is participatory documentaries, reflexive documentaries, and performative documentaries. So those who are making documentary, you have to select at least one of these models or modes or genres of documentary filmmaking. So most of the time, when we are making documentaries in Pakistan, uh, we mostly produce participatory approach. We usually have participatory approach where we invite subjects to participate with the filmmaker, like you conduct interviews and you talk to them and you show their story. Seldom it happens that filmmaker is observing truth by letting the camera capture its subjects uninterrupted. Mostly these observational documentaries are wildlife documentaries. So if you are interested in wildlife documentary, you can make one. Then same is the case. Poetic is a mode which is very difficult to control because telling a story through the rhythm or spatial juxtaposition is very difficult. So I will not recommend you that you go this way. And same is the case with the performative and reflexive documentaries. So participatory approach is much more better. Then, if we talk about short films, there are several genres: so horror, drama, social, comedy, thriller, love, crime, mystery. So you have to select one genre of your short film if you are making a short film. So most of the time, students usually select thriller or a love triangle or a mystery or a crime or a social issue. So you can select any genre. Why I'm talking about genres and modes of documentaries, because when you plan your film, you need to understand that in which area you are going to make a documentary. Mostly when you are interested in crime, you can perform really well. If you are interested in poetic documentaries, then you can produce a poetic documentary really well. So we divide it into the three stages. So what you have to do in the pre-production stage, let's talk about it. First, and the foremost thing is idea. Idea is the single most important component. It should be executable, number one. Sometimes you think, I would like to make a documentary on Hunza. So now it is difficult to travel to Hunza and go over there in this situation when we are living in testing times. So your idea should be executable in because you have limited time, you have one semester. Time constraint is very much important. All your documentaries are time constraints because if you select a topic that requires a lot of time, so obviously you are not going to complete it in one semester. All right. So then you need to take health and safety precautions as well. Uniqueness of the idea is very much important. It should be unique, out of the box, and sellable. Sellable means that you can sell it anywhere because this is your final year project. You're supposed to sell it when you are going to get a job. So it is important that your idea should be sellable. It should not be an ordinary idea. Then always think when you are thinking, when you are in the process of developing your idea, what if always work. What if is a line. It helps you to think about unique ideas. Think of one liner about your idea, and all the one liners start with what if, because all the ideas are always one liner. So your main idea is always one liner. So we write one liner in our proposal as well when we develop a documentary proposal. So let's talk about what if. So what if three eminent families fight for a throne? So you must know. Then you have this thing in on your television screens, Game of Thrones. So the one liner is three eminent families are uh, fighting or struggling for the throne. And when you think one liner, what you need to do, you need to do some research. First is the one liner, then on the one liner, you need to do certain kind of research. It should involve probably going out as well, talking to the people. When you're talking to the people, you should take notes. You need to be accurate about your topic. Your information should be accurate because accuracy should not be compromised when you are doing research. Conduct initial interviews. You can record them as well. If you do not want to record them, that's very fine. But in research process, we usually talk to people in order to extract information. Then another important thing is check out similar documentaries. Let's say if you are making a documentary on social issue, let's say child abuse, you should look into similar kind of documentaries, that what type of pattern they have used to produce such kind of a documentary. So on every topic, there are ample documentaries available. You should at least watch 2 or 3 documentaries related to your topic. Go for interesting or emotional or inspiring angle of your documentary, because without emotional or inspiring element, mm, probably people are not going to watch it. Include the key points that will resonate your audience, because you need to relate it to your audience. So we have the idea, we have the one liner, and now you have to convert it into the concept. So it is very important that all your ideas should be conceptualized. It should be in the form of a concept paper. So this is also part of pre-production. So develop your idea from a raw thought to an executable concept paper. It should be written on the paper. I will tell you how you are going to write it. Submit your concept paper to your supervisor and get approvals. So this is your first step: thinking the idea, developing your idea into a concept paper, and then submitting it to your respective supervisors and getting approvals. So the concept, what it includes, it's a debatable point, but as far as my experience is, or the way I have developed my concepts, mostly title of your project at the top, then format, what type of format you are going to adopt, basic concept like 3 or 4 lines or a paragraph about the basic concept of your documentary. What is the basic concept? Then your audience, why you are making film and for whom. Then whether it's for children or for adults or for female, time slot in case you want to add, but usually when you are working with television, you add time slot as well. So let's do the practice, add the time slot and frequency as well if it is episodic. If it is not episodic, then you should not add frequency. Duration of your documentary, number of episodes if there are any, name of the cast or the narrator, name of the production team, then technical equipment you are going to use. Then creative elements of your film should be added in your concept paper, detail of promotional campaign, how you will promote your film, list of interviewee you are going to interview or you are going to talk in case of documentary, and sample scene, at least one sample scene of your short film should be in the should be part of your concept paper. Similarly, sample dialogues should be part of your short film's concept. And in documentary, at least there should be a sample let's say location shoot or any sample narration should be added in order to get idea that what type of work you are going to do. All right. Any confusion till now? So we have talked about the concept. Finance does matter. Budget your film. That is single most important thing. Apart from the concept, develop your budget. Though you are making a documentary on student level, but still it is a professional practice. So we divide budget into 3 main phases: pre-production, production expenses, production expenses, and post-production expenses. Apart from that, we add equipment and studio costs if we are hiring one. In your case, probably you are not hiring one, but still you can add such kind of recurring cost as well. Then production crew cost, location permits or cost. If you are hiring a location to shoot your film or your documentary and you are paying for that, if you're using props, you should add the budget. Then if you are obviously food is important, so you should add the food budget as well, traveling, lodging, marketing expenses, etc., etc. So all these heads should be divided into 3 basic heads like production budget, pre-production budget, production budget, and post-production budget. So then the next thing is, once you are ready and you know exactly how much money you are going to spend, and this is your concept you have already developed. So obviously you have decided for the locations as well where you are going to shoot your film. So it is important before you record your film, prior to your recording or your scenes, you should go for location scouting. Location scouting is very much important because if you don't know location, probably on the shoot day, you are going to be in trouble. So go for location scouting. Look into the direction of sun or light source because on that day probably you'll face a lot of problems. So you should be knowing that what is the situation of light and what is the light source you can have over there. Then decide of timing of the shooting, that which time is better. Look for the electricity ports as well because you need electricity in during your shoot, and probably in most of the location you have to find these electricity ports as well. Then make audio and noise arrangements because mostly places are noisy, and sometimes you are, when you are recording an interview and when you are finished with the interview, you realize, oh my god, there is a lot of noise in this interview. So if you have visited location earlier, you must be knowing that this place is near to some school or this place is near to some main road, so there is noise, so you should make arrangement in order to suppress your noise. Then if you need permissions, arrange them in advance. So that all can happen through location scouting. So if you have 3 or 4 locations in your film, you should visit them prior to your recording. So you must be knowing this dialogue. Life में जब भी time कम रहता है ना, double जीने का. So that means dialogues are very important for short films. And screenplay is again very much important. So when you develop screenplay, you obviously develop dialogues as well. So what you are going to do, you are going to develop a shooting script. I'm talking to the guys who are going to make short film. Develop a shooting script for your short film or develop a screenplay. It's one and the same thing. Sometimes we say that it's a shooting script. Sometimes we say it's a screenplay. So call it whatever you want, but develop one because it is important. Then create characters. Some are flat characters, some are round characters. You need to create powerful characters. So in order to make a memorable film, then write dialogues, which is very much important. Then scenes and situations. Your dialogues will make scenes and situations. Divide your script into scenes and situations. All right. In that way, you are going to write your short film. So it is important that you should decide prior to your recording that how many scenes or situation you will have in your film. So it should be done on pen. It should be done with pen and the paper, not on the location. All right. From shooting script to shoot plan, after this, develop a shoot plan, that how you are going to do it, because probably you are going to have 5, 6 locations, and you should make a plan how you are going to shoot on those locations. Probably you have 5, 6 interviews in your documentary. So shoot plan will enable you to um, record your film on time, decide on project start date, project finish date, then devise a comprehensive shoot plan. Because if you have written everything on paper, that is going to help you a lot when you are in the field. Because David Lean says 90% of your films are made on your table and 10% are made in field. That means 90% of your film is on the paper, 10% is on the camera. So David Lean, very famous film director. Then comes the production phase or the execution phase. So execution phase, always record as you have planned in your shooting plan, shoot plan, shooting script or screenplay. So because you have written everything on the paper, obviously you will be knowing what you are going to do today. So keep your shooting plan with you. When you are recording, it is very much important. Always log your scene. When you have recorded, let's say you have a scene in Badshai Mosque. So you have to log it. Logging means you have to give it a name, all right, and the detail of the scene. that why you have taken this scene, what is the reason of this scene. Again, give it a name. Then give it a name as well. Scene number in the script, you should give it scene number. Then location name and take number. Mostly in every scene you take 2 or 3 takes. So you need always record 2 or 3 takes, because you never know what you are going to get at the end. And when you are sitting on editing table, it becomes very difficult to re-record any scene. So always record 2 or 3 takes, at least 2 3 takes. So you can decide which one is the final at the spot as well. But at the editing table, it is going to help you. My advice is shoot enough. You should not be short of content when you sit on editing table. Always take 3 different scenes. It will help you to choose best scene or shot for your film. Shooting more is always a good strategy instead of shooting less. So write it down in your notebooks that you are going to shoot more, because once you are packed up and you have returned all the equipment and suddenly you realize, oh my God, you have missed something and you have not recorded enough. So you have to do a lot of work. So ideally, one shot is only for 4 to 6 seconds in a documentary. I'm not talking about the short film, I'm talking about the documentary. One shot should not last more than 4 to 6 seconds. 6 is the benchmark, all right? And 4 is the exquisite, it's sweet timing. So you should be recording this way. So small chunks makes shots, shots makes scenes, and scenes makes situations, and situations makes films. So this is the order. So you need to record small chunks, and then with those small chunks, you will create a shot. Then with the shots, you create a scene. Then with the scenes, you create a situation. And in that way, you can create your film. So pick and choose what you shoot. That is very much important. Select your shots very intelligently, because it is very important. A perfect shot is very much important. Keep audio, keep an eye for the audio as well. Then because the students face a lot of problem with the audio. Choose visually alluring shots. Then know about the focus of your shots, because from past 2 3 years I usually see a lot of students are playing with the defocus and focus, and they end up deteriorating their shots. So you should look in the shot that whether it has a perfect focus or not, and look for the position of the camera, because most of the time when you record, you do not know that your camera is balanced or not. So always try to balance your camera with the tripod. Uh, then the third stage comes, the post-production or the finishing phase. List all of the post-production tasks you anticipate. Assign each task a timeline for the completion, like music, or if you're adding graphics, include a target completion date. Organize footage to simplify the editing process. Edit visuals and sounds effects to tell a story, because music should tell a story. There is free music available everywhere online. You can download those music. Add production effects if you want to add in your short film, and use ME tracks for English or Urdu language films. You can dub it, or you can subtitle your films which are in Urdu. You can dub them in English. You can give them subtitle in English, and those films that are in English, they can be subtitled in Urdu as well if you like to. Re-record to create a balanced soundtrack. If you cannot re-record a soundtrack, then there are free websites available. Just Google them. You can download free soundtracks and you can use them. So from execution to finished product, it is very important that you develop a rough cut. We call it the first cut. So when you develop a rough cut, bring it to your supervisor. So show him, because most of the time students come with the final cut. So always come up with the first cut and show it to your instructor. Definitely you are going to get a lot of suggestion as well. Get it approved from your supervisor. If you do not get any suggestion, make necessary changes if he advised you, then edit it as a final cut and then get it approved. So that means you are not going to bring your films as a final cut. So first develop a rough cut and bring it to your respective supervisors. That is very much important. And the same practice we adopt in television. We cannot just edit and send film for the broadcast purpose. We just edit it, we make a rough cut, and then we get it approved from our seniors. Then again, it's very important. You need certain kind of equipment, which is very much important. Obviously, cameras. There is ample equipment available in AV Lab. You can get that equipment from there. Lenses, either you want to use 50 lens or a wide angle lens, it depends. Um, Then obviously tripod, rig, lighting gear, microphone, digital audio recorders, because if you are using a Nikon camera or a Canon camera, DSLR camera, you need a separate audio device. So do not compromise on audio, because when you are using DSLRs, the built-in microphone is not good enough to record audio. You need to have at least a separate audio device or a separate mic in order to record audio, and ample storage devices, obviously. Legal and copyright issues and plagiarism, you know about it, because actually something you need to keep in the mind, because entire filmmaking process is about uh, because when you get music from somewhere and suddenly you get a legal strike, or you plagiarize a script, or you get footage from somewhere, always credit whatever material you are using. There should be a credit line with that scene or with that shot or with that music as well, because there is no harm in giving credit. So if you're not giving credit to someone else's work, definitely your instructors are going to have an opinion that this film is plagiarized or there are copyright issues. So probably you are not going to get through this process. Apart from that, this was important. Okay. So best of luck with your projects. Now I will take questions from you. If you have any question regarding this workshop, definitely you are most welcome to ask. Anyone, just raise your hand. I will unmute you. Okay, I will send you this presentation as well. But the important thing is that you follow all these steps when you are submitting your work. Because if you are not submitting your proposal to your instructor, probably they are not going to know what you are going to do. All right. If you are not submitting them your first cut or rough cut, obviously, when you'll take your final cut to them, definitely you're going to have a lot of problems. So at least when you are done with your first cut, take that first cut to your instructor, and that they can approve it, or they can suggest you that how you are going to do your film. Anything else? As far as technicalities are concerned, okay, Amar, I will unmute you. As far as technicalities are concerned, if you have any technical problem, you can always call me or email me, or you can talk to me and come to my office. Amar.
सर यू सेड कि एक सीन का टाइम 4 से 6 सेकंड होना चाहिए।
जी जी।
तो इंटरव्यू का कितना, एक अगर हम 4-5 इंटरव्यू करते हैं, तो एक इंटरव्यू का टाइम कितना रफली होना चाहिए?
Usually, interview should not last more than a minute. 1 minute 30 seconds max, because you guys are not making 1 hour documentary. So if you are using someone's interview for 3 minutes, do not use that interview at stretch for 3 minutes. So divide that interview in a way that you can reuse it at different points. All right. Do not use it entire interview at one instance. So at one instant you can use for 1 minute probably. If someone is talking about child abuse, probably he will talk about parents' responsibility as well. So use parents' responsibility part at a point where you are talking about parents' responsibility. All right, do not use it at stretch. So in that way, you can edit someone's interview. Max 1 minute, I believe. G Ali. Ali, 1 minute. Let me unmute you. G Ali. जी अली बोलिए।
सर जो डॉक्यूमेंट्री है, डॉक्यूमेंट्री के बीच में अगर हम लोग कोई इंटरव्यू ले रहे हैं तो एक बीच में एक स्लॉट होता है खाली, जिसमें हम लोग फिलिंग शॉट्स डालते हैं। तो उसमें अगर अभी लाइक रिसेंटली मैंने एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री देखी थी नेटफ्लिक्स पे, द सोशल डायलेमा। उसमें उन्होंने एक इंटरव्यूज के साथ एक प्रॉपर स्टोरी लेके गए थे उसके साथ रिलेट करने के लिए। तो डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज में हम जो बीच वाला स्लॉट है उसमें इसका एक स्टोरी लेके चल सकते हैं साथ।
बिल्कुल सर चल सकते हैं। इट डिपेंड्स बिकॉज आई हैव आल्सो सीन दिस सोशल डिलेमा डॉक्यूमेंट्री। इट्स अ वंडरफुल डॉक्यूमेंट्री and you all should watch it. The good thing about this question is because earlier I told you that 90% of your film is made on table, on with pen and paper. So if you have written everything that how you will take through your film, then definitely you can follow this technique. Otherwise, if you pick up your camera and go into the field and record stuff randomly, I'm afraid you won't be able to do that. All right.
Yes, sir.
Abdullah, wait a minute. जी अब्दुल्ला खालिद। अब्दुल्ला एक मिनट। जी आप बोलिए अब्दुल्ला।
सर आ रही है आवाज?
जी जी।
सर मैंने पूछना ये आपसे कि अगर if I decide to go with a short film, is it a wise idea to not add any vocals? मतलब कोई बोले मत बीच में और बस basically सिर्फ music, is that a good idea? Is that possible?
Yes, it is very much possible. It's very important genre as well in short film. Even you can make a silent one. Even you can make only with the music. Even you, if you are interested in mime, you can make a mime short film where your performers can perform through mime. There are examples of short films where they have produced entire short film with dance. There are examples of feature films where they have produced entire film on a theater in the shape of performing theater. अभी recently एक फिल्म आई है, मुझे उसका नाम भूल गया, पता नहीं क्या था। वो पूरी theatrical, जिस तरह theater में ड्रामा परफॉर्म होता है वैसे वो फिल्म बनी हुई है. So you can do whatever you want. So if the idea is unique, new and out of the box, I mean everybody will appreciate it.
Sir, can I actually talk to you about this somewhere else? मतलब मैं idea आपसे discuss कर सकता हूँ वैसे?
Definitely. Am I supervising you, Abdullah?
You're not. लेकिन I just needed.
Okay, you can come to me. You can come to me anytime. You can come to me anytime. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Okay, Zishan. Zishan, wait a minute. Let me unmute you.
Sir, what should be the duration of short film?
Well, again, there is no specific answer to that what should be the duration of the short film. There are examples of 60-second short films as well, to 30 minutes, to 3 minutes, to 7 minutes. It all depends on your idea. Short film could be between 1 minute to 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes even. But if you are going on 20 minutes, then obviously there should be something substantial in it that you can grab the attention of your audience. But I will recommend you at this level, do not go over 6 minutes. 6 minutes is the benchmark. If you are making a documentary, then you can go for 10 minutes. But for short film, 6 minutes is enough. And it will take a lot of your time as well. So 6 to 7 minutes, 8 minutes, because when you make 20 minute, 25 minutes short film, you usually drag. So you should not be dragging your film. You should actually cut it short, make it 6 minute or 7 minutes short film. I hope I answer your question. Okay, anyone else? who want to ask any question? Anything else? By the way, I'm always available in my office. You can come anytime. If you have any problem, you want to ask anything, if you want recommendations. I will send you an email today about some of the best short films I know, and some of those who have taken documentary with me, they exactly know that what kind of documentaries we discussed in the class. They won't have a problem. But I'll send you a list of documentaries as well. I'll send you a list of short films as well. And apart from that, I'm going to send you a sample concept paper as well, that how you need to develop your concept, because I